sit. Bella, I hear you like to potty in the house. That's not good. This is Bella, and in this video, we're going to go over some tips and tricks that you can use for potty training your dog. Now, she's almost a year, crash. My first question would be, I'm going to ask the guardian some questions off camera. What is her word to go potty?
Potty.
Okay. So potty is a really common word. And how did you teach her how to say potty? Or how to not to say it?
I honestly don't think she knows it personally.
Okay. So dogs learn through association, repetition, and good timing. You have 3 seconds to correct or reward the dog for them to have the ability to make the connection. Since you've been saying the word potty, probably in a context that's weird for her, I would suggest you come up with a new word. Now, I worked with some clients in California. They were Jewish, and they immigrated from Russia because Vladimir Putin is not very nice to people who are Jewish. So their dog had some other problems, but when it started, I was like asking them, we need to come up with a fun word for potty. And then later on, we went outside. I'm like, "What's your fun word?" And they couldn't think of one. I said, "Say Putin." And so they said Putin. When this dog, within 3 seconds, as soon as the dog started to pee or poop, they said the word Putin. And I go, "Okay, when the dog gets done, you're going to pop this treat in her mouth, and then you're going to say Putin a second time after it goes in the mouth." And so I give them a treat, and the dog gets done. They put in the treat, and they say Putin, and I get this tap on the shoulder, and the guy goes, "Fire say Putin," in a really thick Russian accent. I was raised Catholic. I thought he was a rabbi, but it just turned he was Hasidic. So he had the tassels and the black and white and the whole nine. He was magnificent. And so I turned to the guy and I go, "Well, they immigrated from Russia, and because Putin was not very nice to them because they're Jewish, and so when the dog goes poop, now we say Putin." He goes, "Putin in poop!" He started walking down the street. He goes, you don't put me in poop!" And he had the beard and the whole thing. We watched him walk down there. He did it like 3 more times, and he turned around the corner and walked away. Now, their dog was also aggressive to other people. Well, because dogs can read facial expressions, every time, and everybody in their neighborhood is a Russian Jew, every time they go out and they potty their dog, they say Putin. Somebody asked them, and they laughed, and the dog aggression went away. So I'm not saying it's going to solve a dog aggression problem. This dog does not have that problem, but we want to come up with a fun word. Now, be careful in today's political climate. Some people want to say Clinton or Trump. I would suggest come up with something else. I say the word deposit. So we're going to use the word deposit for the rest of this demonstration. So if she does have an accident in the house, is it in front of you or is it when you can't see her?
All.
It's both.
Okay. So that means to me that you haven't been yelling at her or rubbing her nose in it. Is that correct?
We usually say like no when she does it. But...
Okay. So for dogs, the 2 biggest mistakes people make when potty training a dog is they rub the dog's nose in it, which is the old wives' tale. And what it tells the dog is when you pee in the house, people are going to rub your nose in it. So don't tell them, go hide somewhere and pee. So it's the opposite of what you're looking to accomplish. So never rub your dog's nose in it. It's been clinically proven to make it harder to potty train. The other thing, and this is where a lot of my clients in California get in trouble, is the dog starts pottying in the house. So, "No, pet dog, pet dog, pet dog." Well, the dog's like, "Well, you get pissed when I potty." What we mean to say is I get upset when you potty inside, but the dog doesn't hear that distinction. The dog's like, "Well, weirdo, I got to potty like 6 times a day." So again, instead of telling you I have to potty, I'm going to go hide somewhere and do it out of your sight. And then we have more and more accidents. I have clients in California who have to tether their dog to a tree, go around the block so the dog can't see them. Otherwise, the dog won't eliminate in front of them. So don't do either one of those 2 things. Now, the way dogs learn is through consistency, repetition, and good timing, like I said earlier. So what you want to do is go outside and resist the urge to tell the dog to potty. Go outside and give the dog 5 minutes to potty. If it doesn't go within 5 minutes, it's not urgent enough for the dog to go. Take it inside, put her back in her kennel, and wait 5 to 15 minutes before taking her outside and give her another 5 minutes. A lot of people think the length of time she's out has a correlation on the dog pottying. It does not. It's how urgent and how much pressure is on the bladder. And the same word for pee or poop. Sit. Perfect. Passive training. Okay, so as soon as so you can take the dog outside. If it doesn't pee, bring it inside or pee or poop put it in the kennel for 15 minutes. Take it outside. You want them to be like doing the potty dance in the kennel. Then as soon as they go outside, you wait for them to do it on their own. No direction. She knows how to pee or poop on her own. It's just doing it on command is what we're trying to assign. So as soon as she starts to pee or poop, say the word business in a normal tone of voice. Now, a lot of times when our dogs have an accident in the house, we're business! And we'll stop them from evacuating their bladder. So say it in a normal tone of voice. Business. Be within about 5, you're an apartment dweller, so you'll have her on a leash anyways. So you're within about 5 feet and just say business once. As soon as she gets done, crouch down like this. And she'll come over to you, give her another treat, and say business. Remember, treat goes in the mouth first, and then we say the command word after. So now we're associating. Every time I'm peeing or pooping, I hear the word business. And as soon as I get done peeing or pooping, I get a treat in my mouth. And as soon as the treat goes in my mouth, I hear the word business again. The first time is to associate the act with the command word. The second time is to associate the good holding. The second time is to associate the reward with the command word. So after a while, you got it right on the T. You're perfect. And just ignore and let her find it on her own. So there's a dog bed exercise we did off camera. So basically what we're saying is we're creating a vocabulary that if you want one of these, pee or poop outside and you get one of these easy. After a while, the dog's like, I will dare not waste my urine or feces in the house. This stuff is valuable. If I do it outside, I get a treat. Now, we want to resist saying potty, 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 or business or whatever it is. So the idea is for about a month, you're just going to take her out. And, well, actually, for about 2 weeks, you're not going to say business except for when she's doing it, and then we give the treat, but you're not going to give her the command word. After a while, probably close to 2 weeks to a month, somewhere around there, depending on how often you do it, you say business, and you get like, that's her way of saying yes. If you say business, and she looks at you like this, that's a no. So now you have qualified it, and you can, instead of having to take her outside because you think she might have to go, you can let her let you know. Now I'll give you guys a little bonus. Well, actually a couple bonuses. The times the dog most apt to need to go is right after waking up, 5 minutes after eating, and 15 minutes after the start of playtime. So if she gets the zoomies and runs around, look at your clock. Okay, it's 5:09. At 5:30, or what, math is not my strong suit, 5:09, so that would be 5:24, I think. Then you would take the dog, 15 minutes later, you would take the dog outside. You want the dog in the right place at the right time. So if those are, right after waking up, 5 minutes after eating, and 15 minutes after playtime, if she finds herself out there, she's in the right place, and then you get to reward her. We're not going to punish her or get mad. If she does have an accident or starts peeing in front of us, what we're going to do is slam our hand on the table or smack the wall. We want to make a benign sound to startle her, then we immediately take her outside. But we never get upset or punish her. If you think punishment is really required, you can get like a stick or something that would really hurt really hard. You want to hit yourself because you're the one that put your dog in position to have an accident in the house. We should never punish a dog for having an accident. You never get mad at a baby for soiling its diaper. That's usually we just haven't taken them out. Or set up the right parameters and motivation for them to want to do it. Now, a couple things that you can do for the first week if you want to jumpstart this, because she's a little bit older, and when I do remedial potty training like this, a lot of times when she potties the first time, I would say business, and then when she gets done, I would like business, 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 business. She just say, what the S did I just do? Because I just got the mother load of treats. I got to remember what this was so I can get some more treats over there. There you go.
Even the cat wants
even the cat, chicken liver. These are the tricky trainer chicken liver treats. Sit. I'll just give you a reward for that. Okay, so that's basically how to motivate the dog. So for a week, if every time but I would only do the reward the 5 times if she does it the first time you take her out. Not that you're penalized. I guess you could do it other times as well, but you just want to do that for about a week so that she's just really motivated to want to do that outside. Now, one of the things that a lot of people like to do is teach your dog to ring a bell. And as a bonus, I'm going to go over how you can teach your dog to ring a bell to tell you it has to go outside. One of the hardest things with doing this is actually finding a bell. They don't make bells like church bells anymore. You're going to have to jingle bells, and it is Christmas season, so it's apropos. So what you want to do, and the biggest mistake people make, is they hang it from their doorknob. Dogs learn through association. So what does the bell ring represents the door opening, not potty. So the first thing you want to do is assign the command word, because if you're traveling or whatever, you want to be able to say that verbal command. The next way, what we do is when it's time for the dog, when you take the dog to pee or poop, and this is after it's potty trained, you just go outside and you have one of those jingle bells. They'll come with a whole bunch of them. Just cut the leather deal and just have one with you and have it clamped so it's not making any sounds whatsoever. Take her outside. As soon as she starts to pee or poop, gently ring it about this sort of motion. Because you want to simulate what the motion is when she hits it with her nose, which is going to be kind of this sort of a motion. A lot of people go, the dog's never going to make that sound. So we want to make it as realistic as possible. As soon as she starts to pee or poop, we're going to gently ring it, the bell. As soon as she gets done, we're going to clamp the bell, crouch down. When she comes to us, we're going to give her another treat and start jingling it while she chews it. So about 2 or 3 jingles before she's done. So now we associate the bell. I hear the bell when I'm pottying, and I hear the bell when a treat's in my mouth. So now we're building that connection. Now what you want to do is put it next to the wall, or next to the door, not hanging from the doorknob. And make sure it's at nose level, so it should be about this height. And what I usually do is you can do a couple things. You can go over and touch it with, take her paw and make her physically do it. Some people will take a tiny little bit of peanut butter, let her see you have some, and then put it right there, and she'll come and lick it off. But don't put too much there because she won't want to go outside. She just want to lick it off the belt. Just like a tiny, tiny dab. And then she licks that off, and as soon as she does, boom, we take her outside. So you have to, anytime she does it, when she first gets it, every time she rings that bell, immediately stand up, stop what you're doing, immediately go put her on a leash and take her outside as fast as you possibly can. Otherwise, she's just like, doesn't always get me out there. But for you guys, because you don't have a yard, it's kind of, you have to, production to take the dog out, it would probably be a good idea. Let's please not bite the dog behaviorist. Cats, like I said, I love cats, but they always like to bite me, and I always get them infected and have to go see the doctor. All right, well, this is Bella, and these are some tips and tricks you can use if you have a dog that has potty training issues or needs some remedial potty training.